I tried it all, but only this ancient oil restored thinning edges. A must know for black women. Okay, so I've done a bunch of advertorials in a row, and finally I'm seeing ancient oil, right? So that's kind of the thing that they're selling here, the ancient oil, which is a really nice angle. Like I find that like there's Japanese like kind of like cultural kind of angles. There's ancient oils. Like these are like the angles that you can come up with that are like very simple. You can literally call any product ancient oil, right? And that's just gonna be like in the reader's mind, the prospect's mind, they're gonna think, oh, ancient oil, right? I never tried this before, right? Because who tried ancient oil? No one goes to the grocery store or to Walmart, finding some ancient oil product, right? So that's definitely something that they've done so far that's nice. By Tiana Johnson. For years I've been told thinning edges, hair loss, slow growth are just part of this thing called life, something to cover up with wigs and learn to live with it. Okay, they fix some tests. What if that's not true? What if it's not chest? 6 years I've been a health advocate for Black Hair Journal. Kinky hair, I've tried it all. When I needed the most, I found something that gave me hope. Okay, I won't forget the moment I broke down. So they're going for the black woman beauty lifestyle kind of thing. Atlanta. Right? Looks like they got some typos, some spaces they need to fix. She got quiet, told me botana oil. The ancient oil that brought my hair. Okay, finally. I had no idea what botana oil was. It was a nature's miracle, botanic tropical rainforest of Honduras. Okay, this is actually pretty good. And then they got before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Science explained. Okay. Botana oil is an ancient beauty. Still talking about the ancient. That's really good. Thousands of black women can't be wrong. Okay, so they're going for like specifically they're targeting black women that are like probably in their like 30s to 40s, right? The 34, 41, 29, so around 30s to 40s. Can't be wrong. Okay, more testimonials, more pictures of black women. They're still sticking to the narrative, which is really good. I mean, skin color, I will say, like, it does a lot. Okay, testing skin color does a lot. You can test them easily with creatives, but when it comes to advertorials, like, really, when you're writing advertorials, you can come up with really targeted advertorials. People generally just write them like in general, where it's kind of like it's just going over the product, the mechanism, the things that have been tried, and then a story about the customer avatar. But really, like if you're running like targeted advertorials will do well, but typically people don't test advertorials that much. Like brands, they really be sleeping on testing advertorials because I mean people be charging for advertorials that are not even good, and then I guess some brands they just stop testing that much. But a black woman angle is definitely like targeting black women in their 30s to 40s with the ancient oil is pretty interesting. Botana, okay. At the barber shop, a black barber shop, probably generated with AI. Find something that delivers. I don't know what this thing is. This blue dot. The hair industry's dirty secret. It's affordable, natural, powerful. Your best hair, your best self. Okay. P.S. Keratin suggests getting 2 or 3 tubs when you see the difference. Okay, so they're probably running a buy one get one 3 2 month supply. Yeah, they're running like a kind of what's it called? A subscription, right? Subscription. So this is for hair loss, And hair loss is actually, I was even thinking of, I don't know why I wasn't thinking of hair loss, but they specifically focused on restoring thinning edges. So this product, it seems like you can just sell it for hair loss. With hair loss, okay, there's so many different things with hair loss. There's laser therapy, there's creams, there's pills, minoxidil, finasteride, or finasteride, however you say it. There's like so many different things in hair loss where like the market sophistication is pretty darn high. So like when you're focusing on like angles, what these guys did well is they talked about thinning edges, right? They're not just talking about hair loss in general. They're talking about thinning edges. And also, they're talking about ancient oil as the kind of mechanism, which is like really interesting. For hair loss, that's something more like niche down. It's not just like one of the main things that people say the solution, like red light therapy, right? This is ancient oil. Okay, they're not just saying it's a cream. They're not just saying, So I would say this advertorial is actually really good. There are some points that you can definitely improve on. Let me just see how many words. Oh, I don't think I can see how many words. I'm guessing this is like probably 1,500 words. 1,000 to 1,500 words. I don't think it's 2,000 words. It's definitely less. How much is the product? It's only $49 for a 2-month supply. I'm wondering if they're running upsells because that's pretty low. Like AOV if they're not, but I'm assuming they are. I hope they are. This is just a shrine theme page, but they're running this. I mean, it looks like a. Wait, no. Is it shrine theme? Anyways, they're running this advertorial. It's pretty good. They got this kind of interactive, piece right here for testimonials. They're focusing on black women in their late 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s. And they're showing proof results like befores and afters. What I would honestly do is I would probably, like, even for this main image, like you could kind of keep this, but I would probably put like a little like circle and then like zoom in on one of the areas. If you see advertorials all the time, you know what I mean. It's like this little thing that zooms in on it, and then it just like explains kind of the ancient part, the ancient aspect visually. Okay, all the images here, right? They're images of people, so they're good. That has a lot of trust, but I don't see any images of like any sort of ancient like ingredients, right? I don't see an image of an article talking about how, this oil, this batana oil is one of the most slept on oils, or the really what doctors don't want to see, right? And there's no doctor in this advertorial. It doesn't seem like there's any doctor testimonials in this advertorial, which I would probably have like a doctor or a trichologist, or some sort of like hair loss expert that's like a different, like a third person perspective, right? They can just have like a simple image of a person with a doctor, like a black woman who's a doctor who started talking about this discovery maybe on her Instagram, right? And you can literally just show like, you can just show how I love to have like an embedded Instagram post that would suit this kind of demographic. I feel even a Facebook one, like it looks like it's embedded from Instagram, but you just build it out in your funnel builder, whatever you're using. I like to use Funnelish. It's very easy, but you can just have like an Instagram post with like these testimonial images. It could be an image of like this black doctor woman who's been trying to advocate, right? You can make this Tiana Johnson, like you can have a whole Instagram post of her who's trying to advocate for batana oil, and then you can make like a whole story like that, and then that would sell really well. I mean, those are just some ideas that you can implement in this advertorial. There's definitely some space to add, you know, because they're talking about ancient oil. I would love to have like a visual representation to help explain it. And that would allow you to charge more for this. Even just for this product alone, I would probably charge more for this. You know, you can charge, you know, 60, 70, $80, right? You can say Botana Natural. You can like split test your product page saying ancient Botana oil, right? And like really, I would have upsells for this. You definitely need some upsells for this. Maybe you can have like, if you're selling if you're selling to a black woman, you can say, oh, we got like a female do-rag that's meant for, you know, wearing after you apply the Botana oil to your head. And then you can always include like some hair loss PDF or whatever, like a free gift. And those are just some ideas because you definitely want to increase your AOV. Like advertorials are perfect for increasing your AOV, especially for hair loss. For hair loss is very like sensitive for a lot of people, where hair loss is like very meaningful, especially to women. I mean, they wear wigs. I would probably like in my thoughts, like I see a lot of women with hair loss, they just use wigs. Guys, they just go full bald. Like they don't even, I don't, like a lot of guys who go on hair loss, they just accept their fate. They just wear no hair. But I mean, obviously there's guys who do transplants, but for women, I feel like I see a lot of like black women too that they just put on a wig, right? And like I would talk about, you know, why the wig is bad, and you can literally come up with like, you can write an entire new angle on this Botana oil product. You can be like, have a headline like talking about why wigs gave me cancer or something. But of course you have to think of compliance and everything when you're writing your advertorials, right? I mean, I probably wouldn't say that straight up, like this wig caused me cancer, right? Like there's a lot of different angles for hair loss that you can run. And this one, I mean, if you're making an advertorial for hair loss, I mean, you can just steal this like ancient oil, right? Ancient supplement or ancient cream helped me with hair loss. Hair loss is very sophisticated market. So anyways, I really like the story and the kind of like focusing on black women in their 30s to 40s, and that just targets them really more. But I would make it longer. I mean, for them, I mean, their product, they're charging cheaper. I would make the advertorial longer. I would show more like scientific based, and I would also double down on the community with like an Instagram post like embedded in here, where you just make it that looks like an Instagram post, and then with this lady here who's trying to advocate for, you know, ancient oils. And then I would have like a doctor figure talking about like, you know, like they're getting exposed for, you know, hiding this, because they mentioned that the dirty secret that doctors don't want to hear, right? What is it? The hair industry's dirty secret, right? So I would definitely have a lot more visual to back that up. In general, their visuals are really good, right? They have a ton of social proof befores and afters and actual people that look like they've used the product. But I mean, this advertorial, I would make it a bit longer. I would add some key pieces of information, right? I would back everything up with some, maybe an article talking about this Botana oil. And overall, like this is the kind of advertorial that you want for like an actual brand, okay? And you know, it can be improved, but this is what you want to be testing for your brands. Something like this could pop off really hard, especially like it just like it's a lot more appealing, the page in general, compared to a lot of advertorials I see, especially when you're targeting like younger people. I mean, 30s and 40s is not that young, but they're definitely not old, like 60s, 70s. But anyways, you can, if you're running a hair loss cream like this, can steal this angle, right? Steal their kind of, you can see the link right here if you need it, but you can kind of steal their copy structure, and this is something that could print. And yeah, if you need an advertorial, right, if you're making an advertorial, keep that in mind. If you need one done for you, I make advertorials for brands. In the description, I have my X at, where you can message me there and I can build you an advertorial, no problem. Just message me there. And yeah, that's basically it.